Today, we're gonna do a traditional Chinese dish for Dragon Boat Festival. In Mandarin, it's called Zongzi. In Cantonese, it's called Zhong. I've been eating this for about over decades. I'm not that old. So today, we're gonna do a savory zong or zongzi. What I'm doing differently is I don't use any sugar and everything is actually gonna be plant-based. So it's gonna be a vegan zongzi made with a lot of different types of ingredients that you can easily find at the supermarket. So our first ingredient, which is sticky rice, or it's called pearl rice. And it looks like a pearl because it's really round and it's really white. Red lentils are great because they're high in antioxidants, they're high in protein, and there's also fiber in it, and it makes a really beautiful orange color for your zongzi. A peeled version of the mung bean, and it's yellow inside, and it's also full of protein and fiber and super duper good for you, a beautiful yellow color. Regular Chinese shiitake mushrooms. You can use fresh mushrooms. Any type of mushrooms is fine. If you don't like mushrooms, then don't put it in. And then some chickpeas. Chickpeas I love because it also gives you extra protein. A little surprise inside the dumpling usually is eggs and a piece of pork, but today we're not using any of those items. And you can substitute this with red dates. And these are Chinese red dates that have been pitted, so that little seed inside is gone. I'm gonna add some quinoa and brown rice, and also gives the rice dumpling a little bit of texture, so it just makes it a little bit more interesting and not just sticky rice. I'm gonna add a little scoop of psyllium husk powder, which is a soluble fiber, and I'm gonna go ahead and add it to my quinoa. All of these ingredients, except for the chickpea is just canned. I've actually soaked them for about an hour. You just have to put water in and cover it and then let all the ingredients soak up all the water. Very important is sesame oil that gives a really distinct, lovely umami, nutty, seedy flavor. I love putting sesame oil in all my stir fries and my marinades. And this especially is very important for this vegan dish because we don't have the meat or the seafood or the egg to kind of bring out all the different flavors. These are bamboo leaves, and don't get mistaken because there are two different types of dry leaves that you can buy in the grocery store or in Chinatown. And these are the long ones, usually the cheaper ones. So bamboo leaves, super cheap. You can get it for under $5. You can get 100 at a time. And we need some string to wrap our rice dumplings. You also want to soak the bamboo leaves in warm water and a little bit of oil. And you'll notice that there are two sides, one that's more smooth, like my skin, and one that is more rough. And you always want the smooth skin facing the inside. What I'm gonna do right now is to make a crisscross with the silky side or the smooth side and make a big X, right? So don't eat me. So with an X, very important, this is the key to making your first pyramid of your life. And this is always something that a lot of people have trouble with. So you have the front side and the back side. They're both smooth ends facing you. And you want to make sure that you hold the middle of the X. And what you want to do is bring the outside one towards you and do a little crisscrossy thing. Therefore, these two leaves kind of make a little cup, and you want to hold this cup with one hand, and the other hand is where you will use to scoop in all the ingredients, and make sure you don't lose that angle. You see this angle? This is the top of the pyramid, and that's very important, okay? So top of the pyramid stays intact. You always want a little cone shape, okay? And this is always very, very exciting for people because you tend to like lose your grasp very easily. You don't want to use too much because it will fall apart on you. Your first should be a little bit of rice. You know, you can mix and match different types of rice. White pearl rice, brown rice, and some quinoa. A layer of lentils, a lot of mung beans. This is my favorite. 1 red date and 1 mushroom. You will cover it with some more rice. And now you want to take 2 big pieces of leaves. They want to be a little bit of a fatter leaf so it can flank the outside of the rice. Okay, so again, you want the smooth side facing up. And now you want to wrap the outside of this guy, okay, like this. And then the other side, you just want to tuck it all in. All right, so now you guys are going to test my dumpling wrapping skills, okay? Some of the rice, your first ones will always be the hardest one, okay? So make sure the V is covered by the 2 leaves. And now you want to wrap it in. Okay, both sides come in like that. Be gentle, don't hold your breath. And then the bottom comes up. Once the bottom comes up, you can kind of let go of that guy and then start making the corner of this guy stick right here. So there's 2 edges that come out of here, and then if there's additional rice, just wipe it dry. So now you see the top of the pyramid, the 2 edges of the pyramid, and now you want to make the 2 other corners of this side of the pyramid. And this is going to be probably the hardest thing for you, but it's okay. It's about practicing and failing and not being afraid of failing. And then we want to start wrapping this guy up, and you can use as much string as you need to make sure that none of the rice that you carefully wrapped up, not bad for your first one, I would say. Now you can do your another one, and now there is extra string left. So what you can do is tie them all together, and you can freeze them or cook them together. They're all done. You can lift the whole thing up and have all of them come up at the same time. So our dumplings are wrapped. What is next? You have to cook them. So there's 2 ways of cooking them. You can either steam them in a super duper awesome Chinese-y, bamboo-y basket we have here, or you can boil them, right? So the steaming will take a little bit longer than boiling, but steaming in this super duper awesome bamboo basket is going to be so much more classier and more authentic. So that's all you really need to do is to have boiling water on the bottom, stick your bamboo basket in, and it's time to eat. So you gotta kind of untangle all these bits. I mean, I can only eat 1 at a time, so I'm just gonna cut the whole thing off and peel it. Ta-da! So you see, because we used the very soft side, not too much rice got stuck on the leaves, and then you'll end up having a very beautiful, you can see the inside, there's the mushroom intact as well as the red date. What you want to do now is to shove it in your mouth and enjoy. Make sure you subscribe and comment below and see what we're gonna come up with next. Tell me what you wanna cook, and maybe you'll see that recipe on our channel.